Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Tasha Camila Apriliana. I'm from A1 2023 and today I wanna explain a material about theory of translation studies. So let's get started.
The first one is translation studies. Translation studies is an academic research area that has expanded explosively in recent years. Translation was formerly studied as a language learning methodology or as part of comparative literature, translation workshop, and constructive linguistic courses, but the discipline, as we know, now it owes much to the work of James S. Holmes, whose The Name and Nature of Translation Studies proposed both a name and structure for the field. The applied branch concerned is translation training, teaching method, testing techniques, and curriculum design, translation aid, such as dictionaries, grammars, and information technology, the translation criticism, the evaluation of translation, including the marking of student translation, and the review of published translation. The second one is the type of translation. The first one is dynamic translation. In the process of translation, the meaning from source language is conveyed by using the natural expression in the target language. The second one is pragmatic translation. Focus on the accuracy of the information conveyed by source language. The third one is aesthetic poetic translation. This type of translation focuses on the aspect of aesthetic, feelings, and emotion. We can find aesthetic poetic translation in the translation of literary works. And the fourth one is ethnography translation. The purpose of this type of translation is to explain the cultural context of source language and target language. Translator must be able to consider the different use of words which have similar forms and meaning in one language. And the last but not least is linguistic translation. Contains only linguistic information before being translated. The sentence must be back transport or analyze its component first. And this the example of types of translation. For dynamic translation, the source language says, I love read books, but the target language one say, saya cinta membaca buku, and target language two say, saya suka membaca buku. And pragmatic translation, for example, like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. It's asked to repeat it again because I don't understand. And aesthetic poetic translation is from the source language, the rose is red, the violet is blue, the honey is sweet, and so are you. Target language say, mawar berwarna merah, violet berwarna biru, madu itu manis, dan begitu juga denganmu. The fourth one is ethnography translation. From source language, say, the concept of karma is central to many Hindu and Buddha beliefs. Target language says, konsep karma merupakan inti dari banyak kepercayaan Hindu dan Buddha. Linguistic translation, source language says, I go to the school by bus, and target language say, saya pergi ke sekolah menggunakan bus. Next is translation method. In translation method, from the source text, there is a word for word. For word, for example, like source language say, this oil contains low fat but high calories. Target language says word for word like, ini minyak mengandung rendah lemak tapi tinggi kalori. The second one is literal translation. Literal translation is independent of context. The translator usually translates the source text first, like a word of word, then adjusting the word's arrangement based on the target grammar. The third is faithful translation, and don't compromise with language rules target, or more tied to language source. And semantic translation. This method considers the aesthetic text of search language through compromising the meaning as long as it still can be understood. From the target text, there is adaptation translation. It can be said as the freest form of translation. Next is free translation, focus on the content on the search text, and idiomatic translation is using natural forms in the text, usually according to grammatical construction and lexical choices. And communicative translation is translate contextual meaning so that it can be accepted and understood by reader. And next is translation techniques. There is a direct techniques on translation technique. The first one is borrowing techniques. Borrowing technique takes word directly from another language and without change. For example, like pizza, burger, motor. And second one is calcu techniques. Is a translate foreign word into the target language and adapt their structure. For example, like beautiful girl, and target language says gadis cantik. Literal techniques and translate a word for word like saya, go, pergi, to, ke, and school, sekolah. And this is indirect techniques. The first one is transposisi or shift. Mandatory and automatic shifts language system and rules. And search language says a pair of glasses, but target language says sepasang kacamata. And the second one is modulasi. Modulasi is change point of view. Like search language says the problem is hard to solve. But in the target language we can say masalah itu sukar untuk dipecahkan. The third one is kompensasi. Kompensasi is introduce search language information elements to the target language because the element cannot be replaced. For example, like, why don't you write a good thrilling detective story? She asked. And the answer is me. Me, it's mean what? Like that. And the fourth one is adaptation. Adaptation, an attempt to replace a source language cultural element with a target language cultural element. For example, like dear sir for yang terhormat. And the last is deskripsi. Deskripsi is changing terms with description of their form on function. For example, like nasi tumpeng. Nasi tumpeng, we can say boiled rice designed in the shape of cone. And this is translation procedures. Strategy used by the translators for solve internal problems, base translation process, the translator's own goals. There is a transposition, modulation, naturalization, contextual matching, and recorded matching. And the transposition or shift for a reason expression. For example, search language says to train students for the pursuit of an intellectual life, but the target language translate is untuk melatih para siswa mengejar kehidupan intelektualnya. The second one is modulasi. Stated explicitly in target language what is implied in search language. For example, like environmental degradation. And the translate say penurunan mutu lingkungan. The third one is naturalisasi. Naturalisasi is word from Indonesian to English. For example, like estate in Indonesian and estate in English. Contextual matching is placement of information in context so that the meaning is clear to recipient of information. Like good evening, it means selamat malam. And recorded matching, that is translate the word of equivalent expression. The lexical does not exist in the target language at all, like batik and gado-gado. Literal translation. Literal translation is a translation method that is carried out by looking for word-for-word equivalence, but the word order in sentences and grammar have been adapted to the target language. Varieties of close translation is word-of-word translation, one-to-one translation, and literal translation. This one is an elegant variation of literal translation. Literal translation may appear tedious, but this is satisfaction in being more accurate and economical. Usually, does not have to conform to the structure of the language. This one is back translation test or BTT, taking the translation and rendering it back into the search language, then comparing the two search language version. And accepted translation. Accepted translation, some transparent institutional terms are translated literally, even target language culture is probably different. And the last is natural translation. Natural translation is literal translation might sound unnatural, translate in a manner that expresses own sense of good style. And the other translation procedures, the first one is transference for the pikiran rakyat to pikiran rakyat. The second one is naturalization from the television to televisi. And the third is through translation. For example, like United Nations Organization or UNO to Perserikatan Bangsa-Bangsa atau PBB. And next is cultural equivalent for ngaben to cremation, and functional equivalent gubuk to a place for living, and descriptive equivalent like kopiah to traditional Muslim cap. And this one is translation and culture. The translation and culture, the way of life and its manifestation that are peculiar to a community that use a particular language as its means of expression. Each language group has its own culturally specific features. Cultural feature in a language must be known in translating, and the words which design the closest equivalent must be employed. For example, like ecology, burung cendrawasih to be cendrawasih bird. And the material culture, like kebaya, menjadi traditional clothes in Java. And social culture, sepak bola to football. And gestures and habits, like coffee break to be kudapan. And this conclusion of all, and this course examines the translation process from understanding the source text to producing the target text, strategies used by translator to overcome linguistic and cultural challenge. Maybe this is all for me. Thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and bye-bye.